Now, let's talk to John Paulo Rivera, Senior Research Fellow at the Philippine Institute for Development Studies. Good morning and thank you for joining us again. Nice to see you, Paulo.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Magandang umaga. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so here we are again. What
Yeah.
factors drove the peso to hit a new record low against the US dollar? Do you think that this
Mm-mm.
recent political turmoil is also one of the factors that drove this peso to hit a
Mm.
new record low?
Yeah, so to get started with that,
Mm-mm.
the peso weakness actually reflects combination yan eh, combination
Mm.
of both global and domestic factors. Doon muna tayo sa globally, no? Globally, nandiyan yung strong US dollar, elevated oil prices, even the heightened risk aversion of investors, they're putting pressure on emerging market currencies, not only the Philippine peso. So in short, no, investors are actually preferring the US dollar rather than emerging market currencies, including the peso. So doon naman tayo sa domestic, na domestic factors. Nandiyan yung slower GDP growth, higher inflation, including no, the political uncertainty. All of them, their combination, they're weighing in on investor confidence, on investor sentiment. But
Mm.
recently, the too much, no, the excessive political drama is actually not good for the economy
Right.
and in the currency. Because I have to emphasize this one. Yung strength, no, yung lakas and the strength of the Philippine economy ultimately reflects no, the strengths of our public institutions. And when our public institutions lose focus, the cost, no, the consequences, they're being borne by the ordinary Filipino people through
Right.
weaker peso,
Yeah.
higher inflation, even reduced confidence. So the consequences, ordinaryong Pilipino ang tatamaan yan.
That's right. But
Right.
yung recent developments sa Senate,
Mhm.
there was an initial take for several businessmen saying that in the future or the coming days, this might drive
Mhm.
a sentiment and lead to lower confidence, seeing that the Senate, supposedly an independent institution from the executive,
Mhm.
have different interpretations of the law. Now, alam natin politika
Mhm.
ito, but moving forward, how will this affect? Number one, of course, yung stock trading, kasi important factor yan
Mhm.
sa growth natin. And number two,
Mhm.
how will this affect businesses that are supposedly coming in pa lang in the next few months?
Siguro doon, no, on that aspect, no, yung mga record low events, no,
Mhm.
those things that transpired in the last few days, they affect two things, no? Expectations and confidence,
Mhm.
whether you are in the stock market, in the bonds market, in any part of the financial market, especially kasi, no, these record low events affecting expectations, confidence, it just so happened kasi that they are happening alongside yung ang bagal ng GDP growth.
Mm.
We have a faster inflation, no? Even the additional domestic political noise is affecting this economic and financial system. Kaya nga, no, in the coming days siguro, no, the peso will remain volatile until this political noise is here.
Mm.
These disorderly movements are actually causing pressure not only on the exchange rate but also on other macroeconomic
That's right.
indicators.
So, ang tanong dito, do you think, let's take out, for example, what's happening in the Middle East. Kunyari, if hypothetically hindi
Mhm.
nangyayari ito, do you think the peso yung foundation na is strong enough to withstand a political noise that's happening like this? It wouldn't be as bad kung wala yung mga Middle East conflict
Mhm.
in the scenario.
Oh, that's interesting. Sige, let's hold the Middle East conflict constant, no?
Mm.
The Philippines is actually very fortunate that we have a very calibrated, no, central bank,
Mm.
no? So with that, no, with that BSP intervening on a data, no, on a data supported level, policy interventions of the monetary authority are prudent.
Mhm.
There's a strong foundation
Okay.
for the peso. But then we have to understand as well, no, that the BSP can only do so much and that exchange rate movements are again, no, driven by both global and more so domestic factors.
That's right.
But
That's right.
there is foundation, but the BSP as a strong mover can only do so much.
Mhm. But don't you think that our peso could reach 62 if the political noise won't stop?
Well, there is always
Mhm.
the threat. again, given the combination nga of
Yeah.
Middle East conflict and the domestic conflicts that we have, there is a threat of the currency depreciating further. But for me, and this is how I see it based on previous trading days, the BSP is there to intervene, but not really to manage an exact value, an exact peso-dollar exchange rate value. But the BSP will be there to intervene, but it's more of the objective of smoothening, no, managing the excessive volatility that these external and internal events are bringing to the peso. We will always maintain, no, this prudent monetary stance, no, to anchor inflation expectations. So while there's the threat of 62, I believe, no, that our monetary authority has the capacity to manage.
But I was wondering what impact could a weaker peso have on our country as a host, no, of ASEAN summit this year. 'Di ba? Shouldn't be using this opportunity, 'di ba, na para mas mapalakas pa natin supposedly yung peso, but it's driving it the other way around.
Yun nga but I would call this priorities. No? So, since the Philippines is hosting the ASEAN and government is really doing its best to make bilateral, trilateral, multilateral agreements with different countries, but then other factors are causing disruptions to that objective of the national government, and this will funnel down, no, to making our hosting of the ASEAN more expensive. As we all know, no, all or majority of the economic activities in our country are import dependent, including our expenses, no, to host this ASEAN summit. And we're also using fuel, we're also using food, and a lot of inputs just to host this one. And the way to that by making our hosting more expensive.
Well, we were talking about earlier the fuel costs, no, that would could also. And what about the, let's say, the ayuda or the subsidies that the government is giving to stakeholders? Will this also help, no, at least ease the burden doon sa pagbaba ng peso natin?
Well, this discussion is grounded on both short-term and long-term implications. Kasi personally, I did a study about this ayuda, fiscal management, fiscal constraints, and we have been saying that government's priority is really to alleviate, no, the hardship, yung paghihirap ng mga kababayan natin ngayon pagdating sa presyo ng gasolina. So the ayuda can work because it temporarily, and I have to emphasize that, it temporarily alleviates the difficulty of paying high prices of oil. But then, government would also have to be very conscious of its implication in the medium term and long term. Kaya I suggest that there should be an exit strategy, meaning the ayuda should not be forever, should not be for a longer period of time, and that government would also have to preserve its fiscal space. And the ayuda can only do so much again, and it has to be targeted so that the ayuda will serve its purpose. Kasi nga, I've spoken to different recipients, no? And they say, let's say the 5,000 gasoline ayuda, nagastos din po namin siya sa grocery, sa kung ano mga expenditures, not necessarily on gasoline. So it defeats the purpose. Kaya it has to be targeted. Ayuda is okay, but it has to be targeted, and there should be an exit strategy for government to preserve our our budget as well.
Well, kayo mga economists, iba-iba din yung mga nyo no, yung mga take nyo on that, because may ibang economists naman okay sa kanila, mas magbuti na daw may subsidies kaysa magbawas ng tax because mababawasan yung revenue naman ng government. So iba-iba din yung take nyo on that. Well,
but I have to agree with that. The discussion on
Yes.
tax, kasi tax is a dangerous word.
Yes.
No? So we have to balance. It's really a tough balancing act.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your insights.
As
As
always.
usual, John Paulo Rivera,
Yes.
Senior Research Fellow at the Philippine Institute for Development Studies.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat.